Good? Are we live? Are we live? I hope. Good? Are we good to go? I'm starting it. Okay, hopefully we are live. Alright, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to another HobbyLink Japan live video episode. My name is Todd, and today I am once again joined by... Why don't you introduce yourself? Your name's going to be a bit different this time, isn't it?
I changed name.
There we go. Matsuri! Thank you very much for joining us today, Matsuri-chan.
Yes.
Now, for our overseas viewers that do not speak Japanese, however, is there a meaning to the name of Matsuri, and how did you come to the name Matsuri?
Yes, Matsuri means Japanese festival.
Ooh,
And
very
I
festive.
love festival. And I love Japanese festival. And like, maybe you don't know Bon Odori, but like typical
Okay.
Japanese dance event.
Oh, can you do the dance too?
Yes.
Okay, maybe someday you could do the dance for us on YouTube.
Yes, it's held, it's usually held in summer.
Okay.
So,
Is that the one where they have like the funny taco shape hat?
Nani?
There's a festival dance where like they wear like the like it
yes,
looks like a
yes,
taco. Like a Mexican taco suit.
Yes, like our odori.
Yes. That's the
That's
same.
kind of-
Okay.
So
You like the summer festivals? Is
Summer
that the
festival.
fest? Okay.
Yes.
They're always so hot in the summer.
So maybe
So-
in summer I wear yukata.
Yukata. Okay. Very stylish. I would love to see it sometime. That is great. Well, thank you very much for joining us again today, Matsuri. We have a lot to talk about today, I think, don't we? So we better not dilly-dally, and we better get started talking about what we have to start with. What is the first thing we are going to start with here? I
Is
think
Bishojo Plamo.
Bishojo Plamo. Okay, so
Bishojo
what is
Plamo.
a Bishojo?
Bishojo is a girl.
A girl, okay.
Like beautiful girl, cute girl.
A cute girl,
Cute
okay.
girl.
So from this point forward, I'm just going to call them cute girl model kits. So right now, on our site, if you were to go to our site, and we are, just to remind you all, brought to you by HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. So if you were to go to that site right now, which hopefully you all are actually doing right now, HLJ.com, just type it into the browser and hit that enter bar. At the top of our site, one of the banners you will see, we call them banners, or it should be like one of the main items on our site, is a thing to announce this Bishojo campaign that we are currently running. And what is this campaign that we are running? Do you know the details of it?
Yes, if you order 2 Bishojo Bishojo Pramodel, which are selected in our site, you can get 1 special bonus kit.
That is a big kit! That's a pretty good deal. Now, what does this retail for by itself?
8,000 yen. 8,000 yen.
8,000 yen!
is how much かわかんないけど.
Right. Well, you don't need to convert it because we are based in Japan, so all of our prices technically are based in Japanese yen, and the site will auto-convert it to the customers to their local currency. But yeah, if you were to buy 2 of these pretty girl model kits, which are in the link at that campaign page, because it can't be just any of the kits, the pretty girl model kits. It has to be one of the ones that is in that link that you can click. Now, if you buy 2 of them, then you do get this 8,000 yen kit for free. Now, technically, it's not free though. Actually, I think it's going to show up on the invoice and your order as a 1 yen kit, just the limitations of the systems and whatnot. But yeah, basically, you get this whole kit for free. Now, should we show off the actual kit itself too?
They put the
Okay,
link
then now
here.
there's a link in the comment section of our video as well. So let's bring this over. So we have a fully built sample here as well. Dear goodness, this thing is large. And not only is it large, but it's packing a lot of weapons and cool blades and whatnot, isn't it?
ね、すごい.
Look at that. Isn't that cool? And then you get this for free. All you have to do is buy 2 other
I
kits.
can
So,
open the
and
box.
the pretty girl model kits is something that's kind of just really started in the last 10 years or so. for the hobby, because I remember when we were doing the Gunpla TV back in the day, and I remember the first one that Bandai did was the Fumina kit for the Gundam Build Fighters. Do you remember that series? And I remember because at that time I was like, oh my god, what the heck is this? Is Bandai going to go crazy? Because I think up until that point it was really only Kotobukiya that was doing the girl model kits with like the frame arm girls before Bandai. But that was the first one. That was like Bandai dipping their toes into the waters for these girl figures. And then ever since then, Bandai's just expanded it. They've got like the 30-minute girl kit stuff that they've been doing. So these cute, sexy girl model kits have just continued to expand and become more popular, it seems. Not exactly my my area of modeling, but yeah, sugoi, and just really super popular. I don't know if I should say I'm surprised at how popular they've become over the years, but lots of people really do love these things. So
they say for Japanese, for that we have eye decals.
You get eye decals. Now the face in this kit actually comes pre-painted as well, I think. So you have a choice. Oh, and there's like blank faces as well in the kit. There we go. So yeah, you can use some water slide decals, and do they have it in there? I thought I saw it, but maybe. Oh, there's. So okay, so we do have like just one blank face in here, and you can just apply those water slide decals onto there. So that's kind of cool. Now this thing had a pretty impressive decal sheet actually. Besides the eye one, there's a whole other, and this is something you do not see in Bandai kits at all. Whoops, we got a camera going over here on the side. So yeah, in usually all the Bandai kits, it's just stickers. So nice to see actual water slide decals. So I don't know, even after building Bandai kits for years and years, whenever I open a box like this and I see water slide decals, it always kind of makes me a little bit happy. Like, yay, water slide decals! It would be nice if Bandai did it, but yeah, listen, it's a really nice display base. So, gosh, even if you weren't to use this display base for this kit itself, you could use it for a Gundam. Oh, there they are! That's what I was wanting to see. Can we show that for the camera here? Alright, so yeah, it does actually come with fully pre-painted faces as well, and goodness, you get 6 different faces that are pre-painted. There we go, we can have a nice close view. So there you can see, beautifully painted, I have to say. Those are great looking eyes. She's a very beautifully blue-eyed girl going on here, so that's cool. But if you do not want to have those pre-painted faces, and if you'd rather use the decals or decals, then you have that option as well. So
these special
options are always great.
Painted by the illustrator of this box art, they say.
Okay, so he's the one that actually did the painting for all of this and designed the decals.
The decals.
Okay, so the guy that did the box art for this kit also designed these decals, so that's great to see. It says, I love that it says in English, respect for illustrator version. Well, I think the meaning for that was supposed to be, if you want to have it look like what's on the actual box art, then you can use these decals because it's designed by the same guy. But just, yeah, that English is kind of fun to read there. So that's a cool deal, I think. So yeah, the 8,000 yen model kit, and being as large as this thing is, because this thing is like the size of a master grade Gundam kit, but it's just so large, and you get it for basically free. But there's one other limitation I do want to mention about this Bishojo campaign that we are running. This is only for ship now orders. So unfortunately, if you wanted, because our private warehouse feature function is really popular, we know you guys all love it, but if you were to order 2 of the kits and add it to your private warehouse, unfortunately that means you're not going to get this free kit. The free kit is only available if you order 2 of the linked figures and you do a ship now order. So you have to order 2 and you have to ship it out. So unfortunately that's one of the limitations, but I mean, gosh, if you're getting such a huge figure basically for free, then I think that is probably one of the best deals we've run for quite some time on our site, I have to say, besides our sales and whatnot. Oh, and there's one other bonus that you do get. you are going to get a copy of our Hobby Highlights magazine that we do every month that gets included with some orders that ship out over a certain value. But for this campaign, yeah, as long as you do that ship now order and you order 2 of the kits, I believe, then you do get this Hobby Highlights. If I'm wrong about that, hopefully somebody will mention so in the comments on this video.
Instruction.
Yeah, and so that's good, great too, because these Hobby Highlights, there's a lot of like guides on like how to build this stuff from our helpful friends here.
すごい。
So right, that's really great. Look, you got the nice detail painting on that loafer there.
So you can start now with this book, I think.
Right. Unfortunately, we can't ship these premium top coat pants to you, but there's going to be something that you could substitute it with in your local Oh goodness, my face is looking red in that picture. What the heck? I got like a Trump filter or something going on, and I'm looking orange. What the heck is going on in that picture? Okay, put that away. That's just too weird. All right, so goodness, is there anything else I need to say about this campaign? How long have we been running for this? It's already been 15 minutes. We got to get cracking here. So we got a lot more to talk about. So yeah, be sure to check that out on our site, hlj.com. Check the banner at the top of the site for the Bishojo campaign. Order 2 of these girl kits in the link on that site and ship now order, and you get that free model kit. It doesn't get better than that. Right? Free. Technically 1 yen, but free. I mean, gosh, the yen really isn't worth anything like it used to be, so basically 1 yen is almost free.
すごいね。
Sugoi-ne!
すごいね。
Okay, so yeah, look at that. I don't know if these 2 girls here are actually in part of the list for the kits that if you buy 2. But this is just an example of a Bishojo model kit, so that's the only reason we have them. I don't think they were going to know it, but there's a lot of other girl figures in that campaign, so be sure to check it out. All right, so I think that's good. So let's put all these Bishojos away. We are done talking about the girls. Here, you get a nice upskirt picture for you guys out there. All right, so let's put that away, put this away. And we have one more campaign to talk about. And this is one that we've talked about for a couple of episodes now, but we just want to remind you guys one last time. And let's bring this over, because now we've got actual built samples, built and painted. Oh, goodbye table. Am I allowed to touch these? I didn't build these, so I feel weird about touching other people's work here. There we go. Oh, the antenna went missing on this one. Need to take it off. All right, so we've got as previously mentioned in the last 2 episodes before this, the Mashisen Krieger Kangaroo kit. Kangaroo kit. And this is actually now fully made and fully painted, even a diorama.
ね、すごい。
Built by our master modeler friend. Now, who was it that built this one for our audience out there? Was it one that we've met before on the episode, on the previous version?
Yes.
Who is it?
Cameraman.
Jindo-san. There we go. So thank you very much, Jinjo-san, for building this kit. Look at the weathering on that. Isn't that just fantastic? That looks just great. And a nice kind of simple display base, but there's so much going on here. You got the grass going on, the sand, you got the rocks going on. And that's cool too, because if you look at it, the driver, the pilot, is leaning forward, kind of, so you can tell the diorama is really doing a great job here of showing the 2 figures actually talking together. What they're discussing, who knows, but you can actually tell just looking at the diorama that they're talking together. And this kit also, another thing we do want to point out is that if you see here right at the top, that decal is actually one of the ones that is part of our campaign. So if you buy this Kangaroo kit from us on hlj.com, hopefully somebody will drop a link to it in the comments on this video if they have not already. But this kit is releasing later in this month, April of 2025. And if you buy it from HobbyLink Japan, hlj.com, you are going to get this exclusive decal sheet. Isn't that cool? We've got it. And this is the first time. So the last time we did this episode, we didn't have an actual copy of it yet, but now we've got the actual decals, and it's in my hands. And it looks cool. And there it is. You got the actual HLJ logo decals on here too. And you got the hands, Mr. Hands.
ね
That looks great. So that'll be fun. Cool. So
楽しみ
Tanoshimi. So
Tanoshimi.
this is a great looking kit. So be sure to get your orders in, your pre-orders in. This kit is
the
releasing
built
soon.
samples.
We got 2 more built samples here besides that one. So it is a
So
fantastic
this is
looking
painted
kit.
by another famous painter
Okay.
筆塗りbrush paint
Brush painted. So this one is brush painted. Wow, and this one has the hands on it. Yeah. Oh, we lost focus. There we go. But yeah, you can see there's the hands. So that gives you a good idea of like what you can do. Yeah.
あ
Here,
違った
here. No, it's here. It's here. We've got the more of the exclusive HLJ decals going on here. So you got the hands going on this one, and the other one too. You've got the heart cards, the trump
これね
cards. Right, that is cool, and you got the numbers as well. Actually, yeah, there's the numbers. You got the white numbers and the black numbers here, so that looks cool. Very good job. They did an excellent job in building this kit. Both of these kits, I have to say.
かっこいいね
Kakuikunai.
かっこいいね
And 35th scale, both of these kits. So that's another great thing, is because like the figures for the other diorama one that we just looked at, like. Because when you do a diorama like this for 35th scale stuff, and we'll talk about this when we get to talking about your stuff a bit later too, but yeah, when you build dioramas for 35th scale, there's just so many options of like accessories and like just many different things out there that exist in 35th scale. So that's just one of the great things I like about the 35th scale
This
watches and
figure
figure
is
kits.
from normal
It could be,
other?
yeah. I mean, it could just be like a Tamiya, one of those Tamiya army men figures, right?
Maybe
I don't know exactly where it came from, but just to give you an example, just because of how many different things out there exist for 35th scale. Okay, like the jerry cans too, at the bottom. The jerry cans,
そうね
that's another really popular diorama item for 35th scale. So, and then all like the grass and the sand and the rocks, a lot of that stuff already exists out there for 35th scale. So that's great. Oh, and I just really noticed like the wiring. So not only they've got the wires running down the side of the legs, right? That's not something that comes with the
あーこ
kit.
こねすごい
Yeah, so that's like something added on there as an extra feature that really adds like, yeah, you can see that. Maybe it's a bit hard to pick up in the camera, but yeah, the modeler for this kit added some wires onto the kit that really, it could be like a hydraulic line type of thing or just a control or who knows, but it really adds to the kit, I think, those kind of just,
ディテーリングアップが
right.
すごいね
You had those
Maybe
little-
you can see it here
You can see it in the back.
yeah.
There you go. Can you see it? Okay.
Difficult
There you go. Or how
showing.
about let's use this other camera to the side. Pull it over here. Can we get a close,
す
good
ごい
close
ね
up? Can we
You
switch
can
to
do
the close camera?
detailing up to
There we go. All right, so you can see it a lot better here. You see that wire running down the side here? Hopefully my nails are not looking too dirty here. But yeah, motorcycle oil in there, I don't know. But but yeah, I got some wires going on here. We got the antenna that's really looking great. And just look at the detail for that engine. And the weathering on there, you got the canisters on the back of the exhaust. I guess that would probably be, these would be the exhausts, wouldn't they? But yeah, they're kind of oxidized, getting rusted a little bit, and we got some more numbers from that decal sheet there, and another one of the decals that's for our limited HLJ exclusive decal there, so that's kind of quite cool to see. And there's the engine, an upside down V-twin engine. It's kind of cool to see. I wonder how much horsepower that thing pumps out. Probably not too much, but V-twin engines, I love V-twin engines. They make a great sound. But okay, there you go. That's it for the Kangaroo. Maybe we've talked about this a little bit too much here now.
そうだね
So, okay.
Maybe we can see these built samples on HobbyLink which comes with Kangaroo
Ah,
Yes, I
okay.
think so.
The Hobby Highlights magazine that comes with the kit.
ですよねこれでカンガルーのホビーハイライツのにこれらのビルトサンプルが見れる
ここがそこにあります
Oh, we have
put
it.
it so-
There we go. So they
映ってない
cannot. See. Hopefully nothing else. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay, so there's the actual box. Now we did show this off in the last episode, when we were here 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm still so impressed by seeing this box just because of how thick this thing is. There's so
have
much.
two
There's a
kits
lot of
だから
plastic in this kit. So yeah, 2 kits in
Two
one,
kits in one
plus
box, so you can
plus the
make
limited
many.
edition decal sheet when you order it from HLJ.com. So coming out, releasing later this month, I believe, kind of really towards the very end of this month. Although, also at the end of this month, we have the Japanese holiday that's coming up, the Golden Week holiday. So that might kind of affect some schedules. So it might actually come a little bit earlier, because usually when like a holiday falls at the end of the month, suppliers and whatnot ship out the goods a lot earlier than the actual end of the month. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, this is coming out this month. So be sure to get your orders in today. Okay? Are we good? All right, we got a time?
じゃあちょっと
You're going to put it back? You don't have to put it back if you don't want. All right. So, it's falling down. Everything's falling down. The shelves are, just throw it off to the side.
Okay.
Throw it under the table.
ちょっと大事
There you go. All right. So, the next thing we are going to talk about, are we going to do our new section first? Yes. So, I think we had decided before we get into talking about your fancy work,
あ、そうです
we are going to go on to our new segment. Are you going to check? You want to check the comments to make sure we got anything going on?
Maybe
Okay, so do we...
Kangaroo can use the custom paint design.
Yes. Right, that diorama is amazing. That is great.
Namihei-san says excellent.
Excellent. Indeed, indeed, it is quite excellent. Thank you guys very much out there for all of the comments. And thank you everyone for tuning in today to listen to us ramble on about new kits and our campaigns and what have you. And speaking of new, we are going to start from this episode running something, a new part of our, how do we say this? A new part of our show. So, yes, we do this show we're planning to do this show about every 2 weeks, so that will be about twice a month. And since we are from HobbyLink Japan, every month we get new items added to the site all of the time, right? So one thing that we want to do is once a month, me and Matsuri-chan are going to make a list of the top, at least right now, we're planning the top 5 kits that were added to our site for each of us, 5 kits.
What we want.
Like which kits were added to our site that we thought were of particular interest, that maybe that interest us the most, I would say. So that's something. So we're going to try that, and today is going to be the first time that we're going to give this a go. So should I start maybe with the first? And I'm going to run this in reverse. So I'm going to start with my number 5, and then we're going to go down to number 1. So I'm going to save my most interesting kit for the very end, just kind of to build up that pressure. So, okay, so I'm going to start with the bottom of my list for what was added to the site this month that I thought was of particular interest. And actually, for me, the number 5 is going to be a kit that was actually a reissue. So this is a kit that has been released before, but this kit was last reissued in, as far as I could tell, looking at our database, 2019. So it is now 2025, so it has been 6 years. This kit, it was before COVID happened, if you think about it. It doesn't seem that long. Right? But then you look at the you look at the actual dates and like, oh my goodness, it's been 6 years. Okay, so building up the pressure here, and it is actually a Kotobukiya kit in the 1/144th scale, Ikaruga white. So this is the original. Do we have a picture that we can put up on the screen here?
Or maybe they have the pictures from top.
Oh, they did it. Oh, we did. Maybe you needed to discuss that in the.
So
okay.
Forget about it. No.
Okay. So I guess they had prepared it for the opposite way. So I guess we'll have to prepare that. Make sure the instructions are a bit more clear from the last one. So we're going from the top down. Is that there? We go. Okay. So I guess we gotta they revealed my number 1 kit. I didn't get to build up to it. I'm kind of sad. But okay. So I guess we're changing it. We're going from top down. So my number 1 kit on the list for this month was actually from Hasegawa, and this is the R30 Skyline. So the R32, of course, is the more well-known, the GTR. but this was released in the early 1980s, and Hasegawa has been releasing a lot of brand new tool car kits over the years recently. They did the R31, which was back in 2019, I think, actually. Again, 2019. But finally, we are getting a brand new tool, R30 kit. So this is the first of the R series Skyline kits. Unfortunately for the R30 and the R31, there was no GTR model. So the GTR, they started that in the 70s, the Ken Mary Skyline, and then the previous one had the GTR. But then the GTR line kind of went away for a while. It didn't get resurrected until the R32. But for the R30 and the R31, what they did have was the Turbo RS, the 2000 Turbo RS. So it was a 4-cylinder. The inline 6 was not part of the 80s Skyline kits or cars, I do believe. So it did not get that GTR moniker, but it was still a Skyline, and it was kind of a cool Skyline. So yeah, a new tool Skyline and the R30. So I thought for me this was kind of quite cool to see, just because for this car model kit, I believe this was releasing in July, if I remember right, but I did not. Do we have the link for that? There we go. So yeah, actually it says right there on the thing. It says July 2025 new, and this is releasing in July. So there we have that. Looks cool. It's going to be a great kit. I've been buying a lot of these new Hasegawa new tool car kits. I haven't built any of them, but I keep buying them because we had the Civic hatchback, I'm forgetting all of my car nomenclature, but there was recently a Civic that was released. It was the 89 Civic hatchback, and that just released from Hasegawa as a new tool just last month, I think it was. So they keep swapping it around. So okay, so we're moving on to my number 2. So I guess we're just going to do this in order from me to you. So my second choice for what was newly added to the site this month is going to be, now in the screen here we have the T57, but also I included the T58 because both of these kits are being released at the same time, and there's not a huge amount of difference, but the T57 and the T58, both of these kits are coming from Tacom. Now Tacom, military modelers out there will know this brand quite well. Tacom does a pretty great job with their tank kits. I built the V2 from Tacom. That was the last Tacom thing I built. Maybe that was a number of years ago, but I love Tacom kits because they do go together quite well. And I thought, for me at least, the instructions were quite clear to understand, and the details are quite great. And for me also, Tacom does a lot of interesting subjects, including this one. So the T57 and the T58, these were just concepts. They were not actual tanks that were actually produced by the US Army, but just kind of like a what if type of thing there. And you can see I forget the actual nomenclature for what would you say that style of design for the turret is, but the turret actually can kind of rotate up and down, the actual turret itself, not just the gun. So isn't that kind of quite cool? And now another thing too is when a lot of people saw this initially, they're like, oh great, this can finally replace the old Dragon Black Label kit, because Dragon did another one of a similar kit to this, but that was not actually the 57 or the 58. Dragon did the T54E1, which looks similar to this, but it's actually a different one. So hopefully at some point maybe Tacom can go back and give us the T54 as well, because I think there was a number of issues with the Dragon Black Label kit, as the Dragon Black Label kits kind of have a number of issues with them, and they're getting old at this point too. So for me, yeah, it's really exciting to see these kits being done by Tacom here in 35th scale, because actually I don't think the 57 and the 58 were actually ever done before in actual plastic from any maker. I think there has been resin kits out there, but of course resin is expensive and it's difficult to work with. So you're more of a resin kit expert. You've built a few resin kits over the years. Not so much.
Not so much.
Right? Because they're just such a pain in the butt. You're like,
I buy a lot, but
yes, that's the thing. I've got a number of resin kits. I got like the B Club Bandai resin kits that are like just super expensive too. And then you think about it, it's like, do I want to actually build this, or maybe just wait and hope they actually do make a plastic? Because like I have the B Club Nightingale kit in 1/144 scale. I never built it, and finally Bandai did release the actual Nightingale kit in plastic in 1/144 scale. So like, yay! Now I never have to actually build this resin kit. But it would be interesting to maybe build it, maybe just to have that comparison. But
let's try sometime.
But let's try sometime. All right. So next up, number 3 on my list is going to be another new tool kit from Hasegawa that I believe is releasing in July as well. And this is not a car kit this time though. This is a motorcycle or bike as you call it here in Japan. And this is the Yamaha TZR 253MA from 1989. So I don't believe this has ever been done in plastic. So actually, for me, the ultimate thing that made me kind of most excited to see this being added was not so much because of this bike particularly, but Hasegawa has been doing a lot of new car kits, right? So for me, it was exciting to see them also start kind of doing a lot more brand new tool bike kits. So this makes me wonder, kind of, are we going to keep, just like the car line, are we going to continue to see more new tool motorcycle kits coming from Hasegawa? So that, for me, that was kind of one of the things that made this exciting for me to see. But this bike itself actually does have a lot of number of notable, interesting features. For motorcycles, I don't know how many of our viewers out there are kind of so familiar with bikes and what goes on with bikes. So this bike, the engine is a 2-stroke engine. So 2-strokes have that more interesting sound to it. So most cars now and most motorcycles now, actually 2-strokes have kind of gone away for the most part, because it's harder to pass emissions with 2-strokes, because the emissions that come out of a 2-stroke, it doesn't burn the gasoline as cleanly as a 4-stroke, so it's emitting a lot more emissions than a 4-stroke engine. But it's got 2-strokes tend to have a little bit more power to them, more torque, just because of the way the design engines. And actually, one of the interesting notable features for this bike, besides being a 2-stroke, is that the engine is in a kind of, it's a 2-cylinder engine, an inline 2-cylinder, and that itself is not of any particular interest, but it's kind of rotated 180 degrees compared to most motorcycle engines nowadays. So motorcycle engines nowadays, when you have an inline 4, you have an inline 2, the exhaust is going to be facing the front of the bike, and the intake is going to be on the reverse side. But this reversed that, and the carburetors are on the front of the engine, and then the exhaust is in the back. So when you look at the 3D view, you actually have it there on your screen right now, but I think when I'm talking about it, it's not going to be there anymore. But the exhaust just kind of goes straight out the back of the engine, runs right directly underneath the seat, and then just exits like right out the back, right out the back under the seat. So it's kind of an interesting design. It's not something that I think has ever been done since this bike was released. I could be wrong. Somebody out there might be a bit more knowledgeable than me, but yeah, it's an interesting choice, I think. I'm just excited to see new tool bike kits also coming out from Hasegawa here. So right, and that's another thing too that I really like about the motorcycle kits is like car kits, like the Skyline we just talked about. They call it curbside. It's a curbside kit, so you don't get the engine. So like the hood is going to be closed, right? So a lot of the details on the inside are just not part of the kit.
Only closed.
Right. So they call it curbside because that is what you would see when you're looking at the car, when you're standing on the curb and you're looking at a car on the street, that's all you see. So it doesn't include the engine or any of that. But of course, motorcycles, a lot of that is more actually there. You are seeing the engine and whatnot. So you get a lot more of those details are actually on these motorcycle kits. And because you are actually going to see the engines and whatnot when you're just looking at a bike from there. So yeah, there you can see the engine in this image here on the site that we're talking about. Maybe I have to be maybe confused, like what's on your screen and then what's on the monitors, because there's a bit of a slight delay, so I have to be careful what I'm talking about. But yeah, so this kit is also coming out this is coming out in June, the end of June it says there. It's not July. So all of these kits from Hasegawa are going to be in the June-July range. So look forward to this kit. And then there's also an optional photo HPE parts set that's going to be available as well if you want to have those brake rotors in a bit more crisp metal format.
So maybe we'll see the real kits in Shizuoka Hobby Show.
Yes, we should be able to. So Shizuoka Hobby Show is coming up. We'll talk about that more maybe in the next episode. So, all right. So that is the third thing on my list. Now the fourth thing on my list. Now this is not a model kit. This is a tool.
すごいね。
But this is something that I think will be useful for all modelers. Now this is from the company Doyusha, and this is the masking tape cutter Scott. So one thing that really I thought was interesting for this about this for me is so I think we all know the Tamiya masking tape cutters, right? I think that's what most of us use.
Gray one.
The gray ones, right? They come usually, but they only come in 3 sizes, 5mm, 10, and 15. But what I like about this is it's size agnostic. So you can load this up with any sizes that you want. So to me, also besides the 5, 10, and 15, they have a 25, I think it was, but the big one, but they don't have a cutter for that, right? So actually what I did, I was going to bring it, but I forgot to bring it, but a long time ago what I did was I bought 2 of the more thick Tamiya tape cutters and I cut half of it off and I glued them together and I made a custom roller just for the extra thick masking tape.
That's nice.
Just so I could have it, right? But with this thing you don't have to go crafty with that. You get it runs with any size, it runs with any tape, so it doesn't have to just be the Tamiya masking tapes, because masking tapes exist from a whole lot of different makers now and a whole lot of different sizes, including like the really super thin like Hasegawa. There's like 5mm tapes out there and whatnot, so it'll be nice. And then these, you can also stack these, so you can buy multiple of these cutters and then you can stack them on top of each other. So
that's nice though.
Right, so for me I thought this was kind of a great idea. It looks kind of useful, so, and you can put as much masking tape on there as you want. There you go, there's an image of it stacked together.
That's nice,
so
though.
right, that's rather cool, I thought. So for me, yeah, this looks kind of quite useful, I think. So, and then also like those individual tape cutters, you misplace them a lot, and then like you lose it and like, oh crap, where did I put it? But then this, if it's something large like this, it's going to be easy to find, it's going to be easy to see, and you're always going to know where it is. So, and then the cutter too, you get 2 different, you can rotate it, I think, if you want to have a more fine cutter on the top, that top part. So you can have like a more ragged cutter, or you can switch it up to a more fine cutter, so you can choose, you can rotate it around to have the cutter, your preferred cutter type on the top. So
that's useful,
right, I thought this was kind of a cool, useful idea, and they're not too expensive too. They're really cheap, I thought. So it's great something that you can just add to your order and then ship it out with whatever kits you have coming up. So there we go, nice infographic, and it does come with 3 rolls of tape actually as well. So いいね 6mm, 10mm, and 18mm. Okay, and so there's the Ikaruga kit that we kind of started this segment with here. So yeah, this is a reissue kit. It's been 6 years since the last reissue. This was the first of the Ikaruga kits that were released from Kotobukiya, and Ikaruga, this was from a popular video game, shooter game series. So and it looks rather cool. So actually I have one of these, maybe 2, because there's a black version of this as well. So maybe they're doing the white one now, and I do wonder if we're going to get reissues of the black version at some point as well. So, and, yeah, doesn't it look rather cool?
Yes.
It looks beautiful. Right. So I have one in the stash I've never made, even after 6 years. But yeah, originally this was... yeah, it's pretty good size, I would say. Maybe not as big as that Bishojo free girl figure that we showed off earlier in the episode, but 1/144 scale. So technically, it's the same scale as the HG Gundam kit. So, well, it says, there you go. It says approximately 15.5 centimeters long when completed. So. Doesn't it look awesome? So yeah, originally this was released in 2011, but it hasn't been released since 2019. So that was exciting to see this kit be reissued, I thought. でしょ? That's right. Alright, so that is my top 5 for this week. Now we're on to your top 5 for this week.
You need to help me だけど。
Okay. Well, yes. So we chose different subjects. So actually, one of these, this one was going to be on my list, but you had already listed it. So I was like, well, I can't put this on my list. So what are we looking at here?
So that's fine modes. U.S. Air Force for F4E.
E. And now that's the important thing, right? The E. So fine molds. So actually, just when were these listed? Like just Friday? Was it Friday of last week? Or was it Monday? Yeah, these things. These we had a bunch of brand new fine mold editions that were just added to our site just the other day. So actually, before last week when we were preparing this episode, none of this stuff was here, so we did not think we were going to cover this because this was kind of like a bit of a surprise release. Like, oh wow, we're getting new fine mold stuff. All right, so yeah, and a lot of people out there, a lot of scale aviation modelers are really excited to see this because Fine Molds has done the F4 Phantom, but up until now, I believe they've been the short nose early variants. And so now we're finally getting the F4E version, and you can see it circled there on the screen. We have the slat wing version. So the earlier versions did not have the slats for the outer wings there, but the F4E did, and it's got that longer nose there. So that is quite cool to see. And so this is one of the later Phantom models, so I think it's a bit more popular, a bit more well known because this kind of existed in service for a lot longer maybe than the earlier. There you can see that slat on the wings there. So in fine mold kits, they're just fantastic for details. So this might dethrone the previous, I don't know, was it the Hasegawa kit? Hasegawa had this in 72nd scale as well. But yeah, so a new tool. The F4E kit, 72nd scale, and this is coming in two versions. You got the U.S. Air Force version there, the F4E, but then there's also going to be the German Air Force, the F4F, which is the export variant of this kit, is going to be released as well. There's separate boxings, so you can choose which one you want to buy, or if you want to buy both of them. So that's exciting to see. And then, of course, at the bottom here, we got the option parts, like there's the extra missiles and the seat belts and whatnot that have already been previously released from Fine Molds, which should be already available for order on the site. So yeah, exciting to see these kits, and they'll be releasing in August and September of this year. So gosh, it's already only 4 months away at this point. That's crazy to think. All right, so you're number 2. What do? Zero. Another 0. So the very first HLJ Live that we did was actually for the Fine Mold 0. But what's different about this compared to the original video, the original one that we talked about in that video?
They added new parts. So the original one was only Go Niigata, but it's on Go Niigata Ko.
Okay, so the original was just the plain Type 52, but now we're getting the Type 52 Ko. Alright, so there are a number of new parts here. We've got it on the screen here. So mostly it's going to be wing panels, I think, and then also not... The wing panels are on the left, but then for the cowl behind the engine as well...
Heat-resistant plates.
Heat-resistant plates. So you see those squares in the middle here. There's that little tiny runner, and then you see the little tiny squares on it. So the exhausts, when they're coming out of the engine, that hot air was previously just blowing directly on the fuselage, and that gas can be quite hot. So they needed to add a little bit of extra protection on the fuselage there to protect that from the exhaust, the hot exhaust gas. So for the Type 52 Ko, they added these square plates onto the fuselage there. So now Fine Molds is bringing us new parts, newly tooled parts, so you can build this version. And then of course you've got the new wing parts, because the guns changed as well on the Type 52 Ko. So there were some new wing panels to reflect that as well. And then the Nakajima version of this kit as well. Oh, here we go. This is a good picture to have on the screen here. So the orange parts on this kit are actually the newly tooled parts that are going to be released with this kit. And there you can see the exhaust pipes coming out of the engine there, and you can see that it's got the new fuselage parts there behind the engine cowl where the hot gas is going. And then you've got the new gun. You've got the new parts on the wings for the guns. So there you go. And this is the Mitsubishi version, because the Nakajima version is also going to have one additional new part compared to the Mitsubishi version, and hopefully we'll get to that here. And there it looks great, all painted up. 43,188. That's a Mitsubishi version there. So looking good in the green. Okay, hopefully let's go on to the next image here.
That's the which we can see at Hamamatsu.
Was that the 188? Was the one in the Hamamatsu Museum? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Maybe the number might be different. I'm not sure.
Maybe. So there are a number of Zero fighters in museums around Japan here. One of which is at an air museum in a city called Hamamatsu down in Shizuoka Prefecture. Now, fine molds themselves are located in a city called Toyohashi, I believe. So Toyohashi is actually in Aichi Prefecture, but that's like right on the border from Shizuoka, where Hamamatsu is located, and Toyohashi. So it's a really close drive, basically. They just have to drive across the Lake Hamanako, and you'll be in Hamamatsu. So so it's really close for them to be able to go and check out that Zero fighter if they ever need extra details. So I wonder if that is the 188. I don't know if 43-188 was the one at the Hamamatsu Air Museum or not. So
the same type.
It's the same type though, and it was the Mitsubishi, not the Nakajima. All right, so interesting. Another interesting note for the difference between the Mitsubishi and the Nakajima is the square plates. So if you look at the square plates here, you'll notice remember the size. If you're watching this episode, remember the size of those square plates. So when we get to the Nakajima kit here in a bit, we'll see the difference, because there's a little bit difference there as well for Nakajima. Okay, so let's. How do I motion for them to go through these images a bit faster? There we go. All right, so and these are going to be releasing in the month of July for the Mitsubishi version, and August here for the Nakajima version. So there we go. And then they got the option. They got the brass tuned metal barrels there, are the option parts, and then the seat belts again, because Fine Molds loves doing seat belts. Almost knocked over that picture here, but yeah. So option parts you can add on to your kits. Great looking box art, I have to say. Do you know this artist, T. Kurokawa? Okay, but it looks really great, right? You did a great job with this box art. All right, Nakajima. So give us the Nakajima. Oh, this is the Nakajima?
Nakajima.
Okay, so now we're on to the Nakajima version. Okay. So these are the two decal versions that are going to be in the Nakajima boxing of this kit. Slightly different. Okay, so now here, so for the Nakajima version, we're going to get a few different parts compared to that Mitsubishi version. And you can see in the middle there, although interesting, they don't show the cowl, even though the engine cowl is going to be different. But yeah, that middle part, you're going to be getting a new spinner cover, or the nose cone spinner cover. So for the Nakajima version of the Type 52 Ko, the spinner cover there, it was a bit longer. So to accurately represent this for this version of the kit, you are going to get new tooled parts for that, and you get a new drop tank. Here we go. This was the image I was wanting. So again, I guess the Nakajima, maybe the original Type 52 already had the plates in place, so there is no new tool parts for that behind the engine there.
I see. So
that was only the Mitsubishi version. All right, so there you can see the spinner there. It's orange, and then the fuel, the drop tank is going to be different as well. And then the same, the guns changed for the wing, or at least the covers for the guns have changed. So you can see all of the new parts there. So slightly a few more new parts for the Nakajima version compared to the Hasegawa version. But yeah, both of these kits are coming out. New Type 52s from Fine Molds on the way this August, and was it August and I'm getting confused here. July and August, or was it August and September?
Yeah. July is Mitsubishi is July, and August is Nakajima.
All right, that was it. So July for Mitsubishi, August for Nakajima. These are looking great. Okay, so
and you have to reserve. Pre-order it.
Yes, you have to reserve these. So compared to the original release, though, we're not running any special. That first release we had like a special campaign where you got the special guide, but I think we have. I don't know if we've run out of guides yet, but but that was something for the previous version we did. So there we got the boxings up on the screen. All right, so that's it. So we had the F4 Phantom and we had the 1/48 scale Zero fighters. What else do we have? What's going to be next? Hopefully. Hey, it's not a scale model. We're going back to Bishojo.
Bishojo, maybe Bishojo. But
Would you consider this Bishojo?
Yes.
All right, so
Yes.
we got a Moderoid kit.
Moderoid kit.
Now, why did you choose this one?
Yes, this is Buster machine number 7 from Gunbuster. And I like Gunbuster.
Ah,
again.
you are a big Gunbuster fan.
Yes. And this なんだっけ Buster machine number 7 Nano-chan was never released in model kit before.
Oh, so this is the first time.
So they had the resin kit, I think.
Oh, do you have that resin kit?
No. だけどかわいいね。
Oh, look at the legs, they pop out.
そう。
Oh, okay. So she's got some like missile packs on the legs as well. Would those be missiles or would those be guns? What are those?
ミサイル。
Missiles. Okay, so she's really packing some heat there on those legs.
そう。
That is cool. That is interesting to see. And then you don't have to display them out.
そう。
Okay.
You can pose many
different poses.
Different poses as in like anime
Ooh.
pictures.
Okay. Oh, look at the bottom of those feet.
So,
Are those some like
We can
blasters
do it.
on the bottom of the feet as well?
so
That is
we can do,
interesting.
like, these kicking poses.
Okay. So you can display it with those missile packs either on the out or in pose. So which way would you display it if you were to buy this kit and build it?
これ
You
こ
would
れ
display it with the
うん
missiles out? Okay. That does kind of look cool.
私かわいいね。
That is looking cute. So this is going to be moderate. So I'm guessing the face paint is the face is going to be pre-painted probably,
I think
as
so.
they have done with their
So,
previous releases.
Yes, maybe they have some faces. So,
Okay, so that's looking cool. So at least we have one.
so we have different faces.
Ah, there you go.
So
Okay.
Maybe we don't have
Get
to
a nice
paint
shot
it.
of the derriere there. Okay. That is cool. At least we got one non-scale kit going on here in the selections. But what do we have? I think we're going back to fine molds maybe after this, or did we not have the link on that? I don't. Maybe there's no link for that. So
Yes,
maybe.
but
Well,
we
but
have
we did
many-
talk about quite a few.
So
of
we
those
have many
kits.
fine mold kits. So
Right.
like 70-second scale 0 to
Yes, so not only was there the 48 scale kit, we don't have images up on the screen for this, but they also are releasing some new 70-second scale Zero kits as well, so that was kind of exciting to see. The 70-second scale fine mold Zero kit, I remember getting my first one because they were originally magazine exclusives. You had to buy like 2 different separate months. You got like half of the kit with one magazine, and then you got the other half of the kit with the other magazine. They did the same for the F14. Their F14 kit in the initial release was it Scale Aviation or Model Graphics?
どっちだっけ
I don't remember, but yeah,
I suppose.
right.
でもわかんない違うかも。I forgot, but I remember. モデルグラフィックス。
Okay, it was Model Graphics. Thank you very much. So yeah, but they haven't done any of those lately though. But well, it is nice though that we are able to buy these kits just as actual kits and not part of just the magazine. Because once the magazines are sold out, then it's difficult to go back and buy those. But I think the versions that did come with the magazines were limited to that. So the versions they released for sale later are actually like a different version. Like was it? I don't remember, but like the F14, I don't remember if it was the A or the D that released with the magazine, but when Fine Molds finally released their own separate boxing, it was the later D version, or maybe one of the two. I'm getting them confused, but it's great to see lots of new Fine Mold kits on the way.
そうだからチェックして。
Check,
Please
check it out. But time, look, see, I told you time was going to be a bit too much. So we need to take a look. Was there any comments that we missed? Okay, so we do have one thing here to talk about here. A comment I want to talk about from Pat T. Cakes Plamo. And this is kind of a bit of a tricky, difficult subject. I'm not going to go into the politics of any of this, but the question is, are the prices going to increase for us in the States now? And as of this point, we have no plans to increase the prices, the tariff and whatnot. As far as we know, yeah, for this comment. Now you can see below that was kind of addressed as well. So there you go. But yeah, as far as we know, this is all kind of new. Things are going to change. We can't really comment so much on this because everything is just a bit up in the air. But as far as us changing prices, that's not going to be something that we would do, because the tariffs, if they do get implemented, that would be something that would be collected from your postal collections, as far as the knowledge that we have at this point. So we can't really say much. But as far as our pricing is concerned, no plans at all to change our pricing. So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I don't want to get too into that subject because it's a bit of a it's who knows, it's a tricky subject to talk about, and that's not really the focus for this YouTube show. But exhaust heat shields. So thank you.
Thank you. Diebuster ね。
Thank you.
Diebuster.
There you go. Diebuster.
Diebuster.
Oh, is that the name?
Diebuster.
Oh, thank you for the correction.
Okay.
That is great to see. Do we have scroll up there? Do we have any other comments that we have missed over? Oh,
もう
can we scroll up? Does it work? Maybe.
あれ違う。
Maybe 違う。
違うね。Okay.
Okay, we'll have to figure out something to do about comments to make it more fluid. So
how can we go? でもか。わかんない。
maybe okay.
I don't know how.
But are we gonna have enough time to talk? Maybe we're gonna have to save it for the next week. I wonder, because it's already.
I should have a look at this. But まあいいや、okay.
There you go. No
Okay,
problem.
大丈夫
So
ね。
yeah, no, we're having
Okay.
trouble searching through here. So I don't know how that works. We'll have to take a
わか
look
んな
at
い。
that. But okay, sorry, we're just farting around with the computer here. But it's already almost 1 p.m. So thank you very much out there for tuning in to watch us here for this week's this bi-weekly HLJ live. You did. I saw Matsuri-chan. You can kind of see it peeking through the corner there. She brought one of her.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. I mentioned we wanted to show off her work. She built this diorama by herself, but we ran out of time to talk about this episode. So maybe the next episode, I think we should actually take a better look at this and talk about it a bit more. But yeah, you built this entire thing on your own. You did all the painting, you did all the weathering. That just looks fantastic. You even built the display base on your own.
Yes.
And
But
yeah,
it's just すごい簡単な
well, you say it's easy, but
just
still, you have to glue and hammer all of that together, right?
So this is AFV Club Churchill Bridge layer.
Right, I think you mentioned
Maybe we
before
don't
that
have
you
it
love the
now.
Churchill tank, so.
So and I made the 表紙の絵
Hoshinoe.
表紙
Hyoshi?
表紙 The
Oh, you're on the
title
camera.
box art.
Oh, you made box art too?
No, the box art. This
This diorama
is
is from the box art.
Yes.
Oh, we need an image of that box art when we talk about this a bit more next
Maybe
week, so we
I
can put
will
that
the
on the
next
screen.
time.
Okay, so we will talk about this diorama a bit more on the next time. And you have some other works that you brought to show off as well, so maybe hopefully we'll
Next
have
time.
more time to look into that next week. And so the next when we are back again in 2 weeks time, that's going to be like right before the Shizuoka Hobby Show, which Shizuoka Hobby Show is coming up in May, the second week of May, or it's sort of like around May 14, 15, 16, 17.
I suppose so. そうだっけね。This year's は静岡
Hobby Show. So that's coming up soon. So we should be the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so that is coming up in May here. So we should start seeing new releases coming from manufacturers getting added to the site. Hopefully we'll have something to talk about in the next episode. So maybe we can talk about a bit about Shizuoka preview for the next episode. At least that could be our hope anyway. And then after that we'll have the actual Shizuoka Hobby Show episode maybe to talk about what was released or what was exciting from the show. So that'll be some exciting stuff to talk about upcoming in the future, and then closer look, talk a bit more about your dioramas. So exciting.
楽しみだね。
楽しみだ
楽し
ね。
みだね。
Okay, so it is now, actually 1 p.m. here, Japan time, and both of us are starving. So we are going to pack up this episode and head off to grab something delicious to eat for the day, for our lunch. So, yes, I heard your stomach growling a bit during this episode too. I don't think the microphone picked it up, but I heard that growl. I was like, oh dear. She's hungry. Okay, so that's going to be it for us today. Thank you out there very much for tuning in to today's episode. Tune in again in a couple of weeks for some more exciting model talk and look at her excellent dioramas and maybe talk about any other exciting campaigns we have going on. Oh yes, our last plug for the Bishojo Plamo campaign here. So buy 2 kits, do a ship now order, and you are going to be able to get this 8,000 yen kit for free. Kind of, it's technically 1 yen, but it's free basically, and it's a nice big kit, really exciting. And then don't forget to order the Kangaroo. She's bringing that box. So yeah, Kangaroo, this is releasing later in this month, and it's going to have a special exclusive limited HobbyLink Japan decal sheet that we have shown off quite a bit for this episode. So exciting stuff to look forward to and to order on our site. And remember, we are brought to you by HobbyLink Japan, HLJ.com. Thank you once again last time for tuning into the episode, and we will see you again in 2 weeks or so. Bye.